My name's Joanna Maycock, and I'm the Secretary General of the European Women's Lobby. And the European Women's Lobby is the largest umbrella of women's organisations in Europe. It represents around 2,000 women's organisations throughout all of the EU member states and a little bit beyond as well. And we come together as women's organisations to campaign for our vision of a feminist Europe. So I've been a feminist all through my professional life, and I've also been a very active campaigner for a more socially just European Union. Although we've made huge progress on gender equality and women's rights in Europe in the last 50 years, it's a real revolution if you look at the timescale of change. We have stopped progressing really since about 2005, according to the statistics. And we look at issues to do with power, money, we look at violence, we look at access to education and healthcare, so a range of different areas. Why do we think we've stalled, and therefore where are the key barriers? We think it's partly a sense of complacency. It's partly the fact that perhaps we've made so much progress in a short amount of time that people feel that it's all been done, which is far from being the truth. We're actually stuck at around 50% of the way towards full equality between women and men in the European Union. The second is an active pushback, an active backlash against women's rights, and that's particularly visibly seen around issues to do with sexual and reproductive health and rights, so access to abortion and contraception, but also through increasing violence and silencing of women's voices, women particularly in public life or women who speak out on women's rights issues. And we've seen that around 80% of cuts to public spending in Europe in the last 7-8 years since the crisis began have come directly out of women's incomes. So they've cut women's jobs, they've cut public services that women rely on, such as childcare and healthcare and elder care, which have taken women out of the labour market. So for us, it's absolutely essential that we tackle in a combined way the issues of violence against women, the issues of women's access to the paid labour market and equal pay, and also women's participation in decision making, which is still woefully inadequate even in Europe today. I certainly see there being a new consciousness amongst my generation who are facing barriers to their career advancement. They're facing inequality in the home environment, particularly when it comes to sharing care responsibilities. They're seeing their pay packets reduced compared to their partners, their husbands and their brothers. And I think that for me represents a real opportunity right now to ensure that we continue to push the fight and the boulder of gender equality up the hill.